Is this you? You want to be productive, so you watch a video on how to be productive. You get motivated by one video, but see another productivity video and just keep watching them and end up not doing anything. Well, you're in the right place because you know why they don't work. Those videos mostly share actions you should take. Wake up early, start your task for just 2 minutes, time block, and then just simply follow through on that schedule. But that's exactly our struggle when we can't be productive. If we could just take those actions, we wouldn't be having these problems and click on a video about how to be productive in the first place. So, how do you become productive right this moment? Well, imagine the thing you're supposed to be doing right now to be productive. See? Exactly. You already know what action to take. You just can't do it. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just trying to go from 0 to 100. In other words, the activation energy for you to do the thing right now is too high. That's why you get stuck in this loop of watching video after video, which keeps you at 0 while you try to jump to 100. However, what if instead you try to jump from 0 to 50 on the productivity scale? Then all you need to do is to jump... Scary. Then all you need to do is jump 50 more points to get from 50 to 100, which is the task you want to do. Wouldn't it be so much more efficient to get to 100 like that? That's why today we're going to lower the activation energy and gradually ease you into that action. You'll learn 5 things that will make you want to do the task you're supposed to be doing, even if you're watching in bed. Hey team, it's Amy. I was valedictorian while playing varsity sports and maintaining an average of 8 hours of sleep per night. I also got a 4.0 in chemical engineering at Caltech, and I worked as a business management consultant. And this was all while I had migraines, which are a disorder that essentially makes you lose chunks of your day. Now I'm passing on my learnings to help you ace school and life the cool way, which means using holistic mindsets and habits. This video's 5 tips will actually make you productive. And the cool thing is, these are all easy things that you can do the moment this video ends without even having to get out of your comfy position. Yes, whether you're on your couch, in bed, on your commute, you can kick off your positive feedback loop and become productive because start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. Arthur Ashe encourages immediate, realistic action to build momentum. Psst. Number 5 is the best tip that will automatically get you ahead of most people and make you feel like a wizard. Let's go. You watching this video means you're already awesome because you likely feel like you're not doing enough, which means you internally feel like you have some potential that you're not reaching. And then you seeking out to learn from this video means you're ambitious. According to Dr. Laurie Santos, who is a professor at Yale teaching about happiness, she emphasizes that the first step to getting out of a rut and to stop procrastinating is to show yourself compassion. Everyone struggles with being productive. And that's why I was able to keep myself going, because you have to be your own cheerleader. Like you right now, and a lot of the comments I get are being very self-critical, saying things like,
"Oh, why can't I do this? I'm stuck in this loop and feeling so hopeless."
But that drains energy. So instead, in this moment, close your eyes and give yourself a mental pep talk, just like a best friend would. This seems so small and so minor, but I promise that when you take a step back to talk to yourself outside of the electronics and noise, you will feel a sense of calm and more preparation for the next step because you're affirming to yourself that how you feel is normal. Here are some great examples of affirmations you can tell yourself. Even better, give yourself some customized advice. You can say, remember how you helped out your friend last week? You're so kind. Or think back to, remember how you aced that math quiz that you thought was going to be so hard? You can do hard things again. More mindset shifts like this are included in my 7-day transformation guide, which you can have for free with a link in my description. So if you're stuck in this loop of consuming content, did you know you can turn this consumption into productivity? The key is to consume intentional content. So right now you might be watching random scattered YouTube videos that pique your interest, but instead of getting off your phone or laptop completely, just make a simple switch to the type of content. 2 ways. 1, consume longer, like really long, inspirational content where consuming the content itself is productive because you learn. And number 2, you can consume structured content like a series of videos that progresses logically because then you'll actually feel a sense of progress moving forward. So the first one, that would be books or listening to a podcast. Like for me, I really like listening to Alex Hormozi or Modern Wisdom. And the cool thing about listening to podcasts is that in your moment right now, maybe you're in bed, maybe you're on a couch, you put on a podcast, you can watch the video of the podcast, or you can close your eyes. And eventually, as you're listening to it and you hear about about these really inspirational people and their stories of how they were struggling so much, yet ended up in success, you'll be like, yeah, and feel yourself like gravitate toward doing something helpful to you. Like for me, when I start to listen to a podcast, I'll eventually be like, you know what? I might as well be doing my laundry right now. And I'll get up, be doing my chores, and I don't even have to stop listening. That's why this first way really works in harmony, where it's like you're consuming content, but you switch the type of content and then you do something productive while still consuming that same content. It's very gradual. The second way is that structured content. This structured content is what makes learning via a platform like Skillshare more productive than watching random YouTube videos. In fact, I've been learning how to level up my Google Calendar organization on this platform, and thank you Skillshare for sponsoring this portion of the video. If you haven't tried Skillshare, it's the largest online learning community for creatives. They offer thousands of structured classes taught by experts to help you level up in specific skills like film, illustration, productivity, and content creation. So I've been using Google Calendar since my first year at Caltech, but I only use like the basic functions to get what I need. However, recently I have a lot more on my plate, like wedding planning. So I'm learning how to use categories and color customization with the class Chaos to Calm. Not only can you go through a structured class on how to be productive, so meta, but bonus tip, make time for creativity this year, because when you do, you'll find it helps with productivity since you'll be getting yourself used to creating instead of consuming simply because you genuinely want to, because it's fun. Skillshare's classes like easy watercolors or art for self-care can turn your creativity into a practice. And you get a check mark next to each video that you complete, which is a sign of visual progress, and according to Atomic Habits, that is super important for building good habits. The first 500 people who use my link in the description will get a free 1-month trial of Skillshare, so check it out. In the bestseller, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, the first habit is to be proactive. This third tip helps you do just that, and that is to journal. I've been journaling ever since I could remember, I think like 3rd grade. I remember reading entries about playing tag at recess and like having little elementary school crushes. Taking this habit of journaling through middle school, high school, college, and even till now has done wonders for my productivity, efficiency, effectiveness, mindfulness, so many benefits. Because oftentimes when I'm feeling really lost or disheartened, discouraged, I will just journal my thoughts out, and I feel like it just takes these dark clouds in my head and removes them, puts them in paper where I just don't have to think about it anymore. Then when my worries are all clear, I'm just like, I literally feel lighter and able to do the task. So here are some specific reasons why journaling is so helpful and some helpful guiding journal prompts. First, it keeps you proactive, not reactive. Instead of consuming content, you're taking control. So even if you don't have pencil and paper, remember I promised you that you wouldn't have to get out of bed, you can just simply take out a notes app on your phone and write your heart away. Secondly, like I said in my experience, it will lower your activation energy and shift your mindset. This exercise helps you understand yourself better too, and you can use these guiding prompts. Third reason is journaling builds confidence. Linking it back to point number 1 of be your own cheerleader, really reflect on your past wins so you can remind yourself of what you're capable of. Fourth reason is that you get to problem solve through presence. So when you watch productivity videos, it is so ironic because those videos are actually making you less able to solve your own problems. And the obvious reason for why it can't solve your own problems is because the maker of the video does not understand your specific problems. That's why when you watch one, you will still feel like you don't have the solution and you still have that obstacle. And so all you do is stay in this position of being stuck. Journaling solves this because it puts yourself in the present moment so you can identify your own obstacles and customize solutions. And here are some guiding journal prompts for that. Just brain dump and write to your heart's desire. Literally, you only have to write for like 2 to 5 minutes. Focus on clearing your mind and planning the next step. If you couldn't tell, I am a Potterhead. This is Hermione Granger's wand. And the funny thing is that I like it not because I'm a geek. No. It's because Harry Potter represents something so much bigger than that, and it inspires me day to day. Because when I think about this amazing magical story written by a single woman, J.K. Rowling, in a cafe, and it has become this huge phenomenon, I am incredibly just mind blown at what humans can do. Not only does the world of Hogwarts and the story make me really happy, but it reminds me of human potential, and even more so, my potential. Now, I know we're not all like genius writers like J.K. Rowling, but the key here and what I learned is to look for human potential. One person can turn ideas from their head into physical books, into eventually an amusement park, and millions of people being happy. But also, this TV, humans made that too. And it probably just came also from one spark of inspiration. This lotion that helps me with my eczema, that also was created by humans. And it helps me a lot. And there are so many things right in front of your eyes right now that were created by humans just like you. Why am I so passionate about talking about living your best lives and getting off of your phone and to create something with your smart brain? It's because I believe so much in human potential, and specifically I guarantee that you have a lot of magical potential, because if you were to just go out there and take action and to follow the passions that were placed within your head and that speak to you, then you are finding your place in the world and basically fulfilling your destiny and making that kind of impact that you were meant to make. So to be productive and to spur yourself to take action, I suggest you look around, see any object, and approach it with a sense of curiosity, of amazement. Like you're in bed and your sheets are so comfy. Like, wow, someone had to manufacture that. Someone had to design it and to figure out just how to make it this comfortable and fluffy. You can think, if the person who invented the dishwasher didn't take action, then we wouldn't have this incredible, convenient invention right now. And so it's appreciation for the little things and even the little impact that you can make that will have outsized impact in the future. Basically, any awesome thing that exists in front of you right now started as an idea. But it would have stayed only as an idea, and no one would know they had that idea if that person didn't take action on it. And what a loss would that be? So what loss would there be if you didn't take action? There are a lot of things to be scared about for what humans can do, like look at the environment, but we can also take it as a positive too, because I feel like for me, I get excited about what characteristics I have, what personality traits, what circumstances I have, what can I do to contribute to this fabric of the human race? Wow, sounding so deep now. So this point number 4 is really an observation and mindset one, but essentially it's also teaching you to have gratitude. You might have heard by now, but gratitude is something that makes it easier to be happy, to sustainably succeed, and to stop procrastinating. But why this tip number 4 is a different kind of gratitude is that instead of thinking of what things happened that you're grateful for, you are grateful for things simply existing. Just like you are worthy just for existing. Your actions or difficulty in taking actions don't define your inherent value as a person. And wow, this again links to point number 1 about being your own cheerleader, because you, as your cheerleader of your favorite team, you will always see the beauty in them, and you'll always be waiting for them to get back up because you trust their strength and abilities. That's why when you look for human potential, like this tip number 4, you can also find the potential within yourself. Number 5, the atomic tip, the best tip. This is something productive you can do right now that will have atomic benefits for you to be even more productive and to sustain your productivity for days and weeks and even months to come. I'm not kidding. It is create time. Nope. That's not just it. You have to learn how to create time.
But Amy, creating time is impossible.
Yes, it does seem that way, huh? Only 24 hours in a day. But this will make you a wizard.
You're a wizard, Harry.
You can magically make time by allocating it. The word allocate is so incredibly crucial, and I want you to really know a visualization of this. So this story will make it all clear. I get many emails per day, and unfortunately I cannot respond to all of them, but one of them was like,
hey Amy, I'm a struggling student, I have this many classes and I have extracurriculars and I have a job to do on the side and I also have to do this homework, blah blah blah, and I want straight A's, but I'm just so tired and I feel like I don't have time.
And then I go like 2 paragraphs later and it says,
oh yeah, and my screen time is 6 hours.
And gosh, it's just it's very saddening to me because, first of all, your answer is right there. But second of all, it's like because of social media and our phones and this technology, we are essentially losing hours of our days, which translates to losing years of our lives. I don't think we could ever be reminded of this too much. So the easiest way to create time by reallocating time is to delete what is less useful and taking your time. And yes, that is, drumroll, social media and video games or binging Netflix. And shh, before you click away and you're like,
oh, screen time, that was the last tip? That was your magical best tip? Well, duh.
Of course, that's nothing new. Well, let me ask you, doesn't that say something? And have you done everything in your power yet to follow through and convert that advice you've heard so many times? And I want to be the first to say that social media has a lot of benefits. That's why I can reach you right now. That's why I can connect with amazing friends who I otherwise would have never met. However, because I also understand the detrimental benefits of it, I will take action. Because if you know something and you don't take action, that's the same thing as you not knowing it at all. So, I'm just like you. As hard as it was, so I could take my GMAT standardized test to the best of my ability, I deleted all of the social media apps off of my phone for like 3 months. And guess what? I scored a 760 out of 800, which is a phenomenal score on the first try. I essentially cut out this disadvantage of social media, which would have decreased my attention span, decreased the amount of time I would have had to study, and decrease my motivation to study. Further, every time before I visit China, I will delete all of my apps again. And that is because I want to be fully present with my grandparents who might not be here much longer. Time is precious. Social media will always be there. There will always be infinite things for you to consume that you will not get through them in your lifetime. And that's exactly why it's not worthy. Think about it. It's the things that have limits and scarcity that have value. So, all right, the luxury part is over. What are the actions that you can take right now? So, number one, the top recommendation is to delete the apps completely. Like literally try it for 2 weeks and see how magical your life becomes. Some of you told me,
oh, but I chat with my friends on Instagram DM, so I'll be left out if I delete the app.
Then talk to your friends, find an alternative. And if your friends aren't willing to switch to an app so you can curb your social media usage so you can have a better future, well then they're probably not the right friends for you to have. Number two, purge your following. Every time someone comes on your feed, if they do not make you feel better, they do not make you better, you're going to unfollow them or mute their posts. You can even go directly into your following list and unfollow all the people like Kim Kardashian, sorry Kim, and you can go follow some helpful study YouTubers or productivity people like yours truly or some of these recommendations. And just want to emphasize, this is not as good as option number one. Number three is to rewire your algorithm. Even though I don't scroll on the For You, like short form content on any platform, when I go search something on Instagram, I will get distracted by the Explore page, which used to be filled with like Instagram models who would make me feel bad about myself, and then I would click into them and just to see their other pictures and their clothes. So I changed my whole feed to be filled with Shiba Inus instead. They're just such cute little fluff balls. Number four, set double app timers. I set an app timer for Instagram on my phone, like in Apple settings, but also did you know that in Instagram itself, you can also set an app timer? Now, because you can't just ignore app timers. If I reach the time limit, I will have one block. And then if I ignore it, then I will have a second block. So even that second layer of friction, the second block being like, your time is up, that actually causes me to just get off and stay off. Honestly, aren't we kind of tired of hearing to use social media less? If we're tired of it, then, let's just act on it, right? Because it's such a big problem. And I think, honestly, that every single productivity, self-improvement, self-growth video should mention even a little bit about reducing time on phones and social media. It's a good reminder because otherwise it would be ignoring the most impactful things we could do to be living our best lives. Way more impactful than any other tips, because think about it. It's a baseline to have time. It's a foundation to have our brains. Other tips would just be like happy bonuses. So let's protect our time and brains first. After you do One of those 5 tips, feel proud of you for doing something. This feeling of a small win has an outsized impact because it just lowered your activation energy, so you can jump to 100 so much more easily. In fact, if you feel like you didn't make a big difference in that moment, that's exactly what's supposed to happen because it's going to ease you into the big thing. Finally, you have to trust that if you don't try for the invisible benefits now, you will get the visible consequences later. Boom! I actually made that up myself. I had that in my back pocket for a couple months now. I just have so many ideas that take a while to be shared sometimes because I can hardly make a 1-hour YouTube video saying everything I want to. But that's a top thing that gets me so excited to create just for the sake of creating and turning the thoughts in here into reality. That reminds you of point number 4, right? See human potential. That is also why I made my 7-day free guide covering 7 keys to success in 2025. I dive deep into tips, stories, and mindsets so you can beat procrastination, improve your time management, decrease your self-doubt, and so much more. You can check it out and get it for free with a link in my description. I worked so hard just so you can get that bonus advice that will motivate you every day. So thank you for your support by liking this video, dropping a comment, sharing my video and content with other people. Remember to check out Skillshare. The first 500 people who sign up with a link in my description will get a free 1-month trial. The goal of this video was to get you productive right in this moment, but as I said before in this video, efficiency overall is what we should strive for because it takes into account decreasing your input to get the same or greater output. And it makes sure that you are staying healthy in the process. So take care of yourself, remember your magical potential, and I will see you at the top. But that's exactly is a disorder. Why? Random WhatsApp videos. Even.